So I'm muting it.
Oh, okay. So yeah, the reason why I wanted to do the video again was because I think that a lot of people were having trouble figuring out how to use or how to get certified in the other three phases. Like a lot of people got certified in phase one because that's pretty easy, but obviously the other phases are a little bit more complicated. But this should make things a lot easier. So just let me know if you guys have any questions. So first of all, the new template, I just put it in the chat in Discord. I'll also upload it to Teachable. But obviously what you're going to start out doing is just opening up your Screaming Frog. Now, the reason why that, I don't know if you guys are having this problem, but what I was hearing a lot of from people was that these columns weren't lining up. So like the conditional formatting wasn't working very well. So what you do now is you just go open, you take one of my crawls from my websites, and what this will do is it'll actually align the tabs correctly with your crawl. And actually, this one didn't align correctly because I think what you have to do first is you go to configuration. This is kind of weird, but I'll show you. So you go to configuration, Google Analytics, um, and oh, it looks like I have to clear the crawl first. So you go configuration, Google Analytics, you connect the account that you want to crawl. So for me, I'll just do like, this is the client, date range. We're going to do it by the last year. Configuration again. We'll go Search Console, connect the right account, and allow. Find the client, and then we'll do hrefs, connect the API. Okay, good. And then I think in order to get this to work, you have to start the crawl. So roof repair squad.com so that the columns exist in here. Let me see if they exist. Yeah, so now we have the different columns from these, all the APIs. And now if we open the file, I think it might line up. Let's see. So let's do boom, boom, and hold on. Let me see if it's the other one. Ooh. Okay, so maybe if I go by HTML. So yeah, this has been a reoccurring problem. I tried contacting Screaming Frog about this, but unfortunately, um, when you relaunch the app, sometimes it'll actually reset the columns. So what I've been needing to do is manually taking all of this and then bringing it over. I'm wondering if I sync everything up with this and then reopen it, if it would work. We can try. Um, so let me see. Because if that's the case, then what I'll probably do is I'll just probably create like a shared property that I can just share it to your emails. So that way you could just automatically upload it. But yeah, it's pretty dumb because you would think that Screaming Frog, with how robust it is, it would let you just automatically import the columns. But for some reason, it doesn't. So maybe let's just try doing a different API. Maybe it'll work. So Google Analytics. See if Siphon King works. I'm gonna find it. And this is the kind of annoying thing too when you go into your analytics. If it's under a different name, you can see you have to click on it like that. So try that. Configure, or sorry, we got analytics. We got Search Console now. Whoops, sorry, didn't click on Search Console. There we go. And make sure hrefs is connected. There we go. So let's just try crawling it. And maybe now if we do it, yeah, I guess not. So unfortunately, there isn't really any way around this except for like leaving your computer on, I guess, and leaving your crawl open, which is again really stupid. If anybody can find a way around this, let me know. Um, but there's two options you have for this. What you can do is uh, you could do a couple things. One, you can go and drag all these columns manually, obviously. Or you can just copy all of this, export it, and then just put it on Google and then reorder it. And the thing is that it's not exactly necessary to have it like perfect. Um, I'll show you what I mean. So with the new template, let me just show you. Close out all this. So with the new template, what you'll see, this is the client that I did the audit for. And I'll show you a few new things that I've been doing for this. So first of all, I kind of took out a lot of this stuff up here because it's not really super necessary. It's just like, you know, conversion value, whatever. So I just put the competitors up here just because I like to have the client know who the competitors are. And then what I'll do is I'll actually extract the keywords from Ahrefs, and then I'll link them on the Google Sheets so the client can see all their different keywords, and then I'll highlight which ones I think are important. We'll talk about that more in a second. But for phase 2, or actually the Screaming Frog export here, what you're going to see is pretty much all of the different information that's pretty important to the website. So let me just center this so you can see a little bit better. Maybe not these URLs. So we could see here we have the Ahrefs URL rating, so like how powerful the page is, the amount of clicks the page is getting based off Search Console data, the amount of Google Analytics sessions, whether it's indexable or not. You can see all the bounce rates, the conversion rates, average session duration, word counts, backlinks, unique inlinks, crawl depth. And it has like conditional formatting in here, so you can kind of get an easy idea on what needs to be fixed. Now, ideally, again, if Screaming Frog wasn't stupid, then what you could do is you could just take these, the Screaming Frog export, because let's say this is all lined up, then you could just completely copy and paste in here and all this would populate, which is fine if you drag all these over so that they match these columns, because you could do that. You can just drag it over, but it's kind of annoying because you have to do it one by one. Then you can bring it in there, or you could just simply export it and then drag the columns over as you see fit. You're ideally just dragging a lot of analytics data, that kind of stuff. They said, they emailed me back and they said the only way around this is if you script something in Google Sheets so that it automatically reorders everything for you. And I don't really know how to do that. So again, if anybody knows how to do that, let me know. And if I come up with an easier way to do this, I'll let you guys know. But either way, the cool thing about Syncing Analytics, Search Console, and Ahrefs is that you can pull all this data together. And then what you do is you actually copy all this and you bring it into phase 2. And you would just paste it right here. And the next thing you would do is you would open up Search Console. So if we go to Search Console, we can get a list of the keywords. So like, let's say this is for the roof repair site. Roof repair squad. And if we look at the report, what we can do is we can download the keywords to Google Sheets. And generally these keywords will match what the URLs say. So if we look for, let's say, Houston roof repair, this will usually match, obviously the first top clicked keyword, which is the home page. If we look and see roof replacement, we can see that there's a roof replacement page, so we would put that there. And all you do is you would just say, okay, Roof replacement is one of our top keywords. This is the page that it's matched to, and you would just copy and paste all this data in here. Then the next one is, let's say, residential. So then you would just Control F and look for residential. And so here we go. Residential roofing contractors. You would take all that and then just paste it in right here. Now, this isn't always going to be the case. Like, this isn't always going to line up correctly, and the URLs might be all messed up. So sometimes what you're going to have to do is go to pages, just find the page that you want to map the keyword to. So like, let's say it's this one, residential roof repair here. And what you would do is you would just put that page, you would find that page here by filtering by pages. And you would click on it, go to keywords, and then see what it's ranking for. So here we go, and then you would just take all that. The reason why we map the keywords is because when you benchmark all these keywords and you go and look through it next month or 2 months from now or whatever the benchmark date is, it's helpful because let's say you change a bunch of stuff based off this data. Now, I'll just give you guys a question. You know, what are you gonna change from this lineup here? Like, if you just had this page to work on, you're gonna change all the things in red. So you could see here the click-through rate, and the conditional formatting isn't put in here for some reason. So if value is less than, that's what your other one was supposed to be. If the value is less than 5%, then it's going to be red, which means basically this would be red, this would be red. Now, if that's going to be red, you're going to want to fix that. And so if a click-through rate's low, you know, as you guys know from what you've learned, what's something that you have to change to improve a click-through rate?
Title tag and meta description.
Right. And so if we want to see what the title tag and meta description looks like, we can go over here and we could see, okay, so the title tag is actually Houston Roofing Roof Repair Squad, but the keyword that they want to rank for is roof repair Houston. So that makes sense that there's a low click-through rate. And if we look at the meta description as well, you know, it might be that they don't have that anywhere in here, and it doesn't look like they do. So there's going to be no bolded keywords, which really is probably the reason why they have a low click-through rate, especially in an average position of 3. If we keep scrolling over, we can see again the Ahrefs rating. The way you get that is you just copy it from over here and just paste it in. And I actually have 2 videos of me doing this entire audit on YouTube if you guys want to watch it, starting from, you know, phase 1 all the way over to phase 4. It's a little long, but anyways, so the Ahrefs UR rating is, you know, what your page is worth basically, and then the keyword difficulty and the search rate is for the keyword. Now we have a URL difference calculator, which is formula is just says equals F3 minus G3, and this is just supposed to give you the difference between. You could see that we are 3 under in terms of our URL rating for what the keyword difficulty is. Now, what's one way that you can improve the URL rating for a page? Okay, well, Jonas is typing, but what you could do is you can do internal linking. So if we look and see what pages are linking to this page, we can see that all the unique inlinks are basically the same, meaning that there isn't really anything linking back to this homepage. And if we look at the different pages on the website, we'll see that none of them are internally linking back to the homepage, which, as you guys probably know in a lot of my local videos and like the web design sites that I have ranking, like Web Design Colorado Springs, you'll see that what I do a lot of is I will link back to the homepage like this. So I could pass influence to make the page a higher UR rating. So that's one thing that you could probably do to start improving the UR. Obviously, you could also start adding more content to the website, get that content to rank, get traffic to it, and then start linking that back to the homepage or whatever other page you want to rank as well. It'll probably rank them higher. So again, what you're doing is you're just going through these different tabs, and you're going through the things that are red and trying to fix those first. So if the conversion rates are 0, if the bounce rates are too high, if word counts are too low, if the crawl depth is really low, meaning that it takes a lot of clicks to get to a page, so on and so on. So that's the whole point of phase 2. And again, if you want to see how I set it up, just watch the videos on YouTube. I'll also upload them to Teachable. But I mean, it's pretty, it's not extremely difficult. The hardest part is figuring out how to line all this stuff up with the Screaming Frog crawl, which again, unfortunately, I can't do a config file. I don't know why. I even asked them, like, how long do you think till they would have something like that? And they go, well, I don't really know. Because apparently that's like a big deal for them, which seems really ridiculous to me because it seems so easy to implement. But yeah, I was under the impression that from last time I did this, when I uploaded a crawl, for some reason it did reset the columns, but this time it actually doesn't. So I don't know why that's the case. It's pretty annoying, actually. But either way, going back to the template. So does anybody have questions about how phase 2 works so far? But going back to phase 1, what we'll see is that this layout's pretty similar. One thing that I like to do now is I do like phase 1 results and then phase 1 top issues, and I'll actually change the colors of the tabs when they're complete because the normally default is orange. And what you can see here is I'll just put like the top biggest things that are really affecting the website, because usually in here you'll have a bunch of different things that need to be fixed, but some of them don't really matter. Like the about markup is way less important than if there's 2 versions of the website. The online conversion tracking is a lot more important than sitemap errors. Adding citations is a lot more important than OG data. So it's a good thing to put all this stuff in here. And then what I do as well is I'll put X's next to the things that I can fix versus the things that I need somebody else to do. So I need somebody else to do page speed for me because it's a PHP website and I'm not gonna be able to do that. And then phase 2 top issues, I'll do the same thing. So you can see here, as I said earlier, no pages are internally linking. Pages should be linking back to the home page. Title tags and meta descriptions haven't been properly implemented, which are leading to low click-through rates, which is what we talked about. Location pages, content are not unique and they're duplicated. And the way I was actually able to tell that is that I did a Siteliner scan, and even though there was 2 versions of the website, so I couldn't really get a correct duplicate content percentage to put in here, what I did see is that these pages are exactly the same thing. So they're just a bunch of doorway pages, meaning that they need unique content or they need to be de-indexed or whatever. So I said, location pages, content aren't unique, it need to be duplicated. Content writer needs to go through the pages and rewrite external duplicate content, because when I put these URLs into Copyscape as well, I could see that all of this content here was showing up on multiple other websites. So it's just boilerplate content, which means that it's probably really affecting the website rankings. And then obviously we need to find some content writers. So I put X's and Z's. Obviously X's are all the things that I can fix. And so I said that I'll be able to fix the titles and meta descriptions, find the content writers. And what I'll probably end up doing is, since it is a PHP website, I don't know how it works yet. What I'm going to do is I'm probably just going to rewrite the titles here and either just give them to the person to put in there, or I'll just put them in there myself. But another thing you could see as well here is that all of the titles look very, very similar, so the website doesn't look very unique. Moving into phase 3, what I did here is I just started extracting all the competitors' keywords. So I'd go into Ahrefs, type in a competitor, look at their top pages. So I'll sign in, and I just asked the owner for some competitor links, although you could always just go and look up other people that are ranking for other things related to what you want to go for. But here we go. Here's all their keywords. I would go to top pages like this. and then I would just export all of these and then just upload them to here. And then I would just highlight the different things that I think that they should rank for. Once I did all that, then I'm going to take all of the top keywords that I found. I'm gonna put them all into Notepad. So I would just copy all. So I'd copy that, copy that, copy that, copy that. That. And I would copy all those. I'd go back to Ahrefs, go to Keyword Explorer, plug them all in. And then once I have all these, I'm going to export these. And I'm just going to put them directly into the phase 3 stuff here. And then what I like to ask is, how often will their content be published? I put in there after main duplicate content is treated, then 1 to 2 pages per week, starting with local keywords would be the ones that we want to start going for first. You go for local, then you go for national. And then over here, we have a $300 to $500 a month budget for content, which is great. And then again, these are all the keywords that we kind of had an idea on. These are the things I shared with them. And then phase 4 is really just going over setting up what platforms we'd want to target, whether or not ManyChat's set up, autoresponders, that kind of stuff. So that's like really the main phase 1, 2, and 3, 4. I'll probably have to make more breakdown videos because I know it's a little bit more confusing now. But if you kind of already know how phase 1 works and you've watched sort of the other stuff like phase 2, 3, or 4 in the program, you probably kind of have an idea on what I'm talking about here. Fabulous says, I've been fixing stuff, try the new use template. The corrections optimizations are showing big improvements now, but I'll need strategy for content improvement rankings. Yep. Cool. Well, congrats on getting rid of all those errors. But yeah, so let me know if you guys need any help. If you have like a client or something that you want me to help you with a phase 2 audit for, or help you set any of this stuff up, just give me a call or contact me and we can go over it. But that's sort of the updates. I'm going to actually end this video and I'm going to start another video where I will be going over actually the implementations for this client. I'm going to be going through doing all the stuff that I was talking about. So make sure to stick around for that, and see you guys soon.